Today we're going to talk about the mule palm a little bit. Going to give you a history of the growth of this palm. And here you can see it today. I can put a 5-gallon bucket down there where you can get an idea of the size of the palm. And right now it's about a little over 13 to 14 foot tall. Went through winter pretty good. It started looking really good now. And so we got this palm back in 2017 and we bought it off of eBay. I think I paid about $60 for it, and shipping, with shipping it may have been like $75. I'm not sure, something like that. I can't remember. But I think it came from a place called Mule Palms of Mississippi. They were selling them online at that time. But it started out as just a small potted palm, about 3 to 4 feet, that we're going to keep in a pot. Was the original anticipated path for this, to give us a little bit more exotic potted palm out here. And so it stayed in a pot in 2017, and I think in 2018 we put it in a little bit larger pot. It was probably about 4 foot tall or so then, and 2019 we put it in the next largest pot, probably the largest pot that I can handle back here. Probably in the picture it doesn't look that big, but it's a large ceramic pot that's pretty heavy. And so it was about 6 foot tall or so then. And then in 2019 is when it, during the year, it probably got up to about 8 foot tall or so. And as big as this palm was, that was enough to pretty much outgrow that pot, because that winter it started blowing over, and we weren't able to figure out a way to keep it from tipping over and keep it heavy enough at the bottom, because it's real top heavy. And so in 2020 in spring we decided to go ahead and plant this palm and try to put it in a little sheltered spot as I could that I had available at the time. And so we planted it here by the house, and 2020 it did real good in the ground. Didn't have any trouble with it. And then in the winter 2020 we put a winter cover on it. I think the first year we let it get down to about 20 or something out here, 20 Fahrenheit, and it did pretty good, but that hurt quite a few of the fronds. Even though it's cold hardy palm, this one we have is just the normal mule palm, and the frost at 20 and snow, I guess, hurt it a little bit. But we put a cover on it and kept it through winter pretty easy. It's not too hard to do, with Christmas lights and everything on the bottom. Then in 2021 you can see it started getting quite a bit larger. Trunk got quite a bit bigger, and palm probably got in 2021 probably up to about 10 or 11 feet tall. And so 2021 is when it really started being a pretty big palm. In 2021, the winter, we had to go on a trip, and so we decided to wrap it a little bit early, because it was getting cold a little early in November. So it was wrapped from a little before Thanksgiving until March, I think, of the next year, something like that. And so this palm was wrapped for a good 5 months, and it did really good wrapped. I wasn't really sure how it would do wrapped up for that long, since this is a little bit more of a tropical palm. And so you can see some pictures there where we had it wrapped pretty tall. And when we unwrapped it, it lost a few of the outer fronds, but it kept the inner fronds. And as you can see, the way to wrap it was we had to cut the fronds, and so the tips of the fronds had to be cut off. In 2022, this year, is when it really is starting to get really large. By June, it was already starting to look pretty good, and it outgrew all the winter damage that it took from us wrapping it up over the previous winter. And now the palm is about, like I said, about 14 foot tall. It has 5 new fronds, because all these fronds that you see that aren't cut on the ends, they're new fronds, so it's hard to see them all. There's one on the very left by the window. There's 2 in the top there that are new. There's one on this front right corner for you, and there's another one in the back, and there's another one kind of off the middle toward the house. It's hard to see there, but and so it's come out with quite a few new fronds, and seems to be doing real well. And so this gives you kind of an idea. This is the 7A mule palm. Pretty much an experiment. This is a 9A palm in reality, and so we're gonna see how many years we can get by with it here. I think we can go 1 more year with it over winter, and we'll just see what happens. And depends on how our winters go, how cold they are, and how good a wrapping job we do on it. But that gives you an idea of our mule palm in Tennessee in 7A.